Alright, guys, we need to talk. The Kings are actually good. So for those of you wondering, I'm not really a Kentucky fan. I don't really follow college basketball. This is just a DeAaron Fox jersey, so yeah. So far this season, DeAaron Fox is averaging 18 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 7.7 assists on 47% from the field and 39% from three. Those numbers are a big improvement over DeAaron Fox's rookie season and almost all-star type numbers. So what has DeAaron Fox really improved since his rookie season? Just based off what I've seen, he's pretty much improved everything about his game. He's definitely a better shooter, and even though last year I think people there was kind of perception that he was a terrible shooter and he had no jump shot, which I didn't think was really true because at times he showed it. This year, he's actually had a consistent three-point shot and mid-range jumper. He's become a much smarter passer. I mean, assists went from under 4 a game to almost 8 a game. I mean, a lot of that's because he's getting more minutes and because the Kings run a fast pace and a style of play that actually suits his game, like as opposed to last season when they were, I want to say they were last in pace in the NBA. But it's not just that. He's clearly gotten smarter, gotten a better IQ as most sophomore players do. Also, I would like to mention he's just become a great defender, like out of nowhere. Like last season he'd have his plays here and there, but this season he's had so many steals, chase down blocks, and he's talking about trying to make an all defensive team this season. I mean, based off what he's done so far, it's not out of the question maybe an all defensive second team or something like that. Because he actually will ask to guard the other team's best players. We saw that with against the Mavericks a couple of weeks ago with Luka Doncic, and he did that recently against the Lakers. He started guarding Kuzma after Kuzma had been on fire, and Kuzma's a much bigger player than him, but DeAaron asked to switch on to him so he could try to shut him down. That's just the kind of thing, DeAaron Fox is really a lot more confident this season than he was last year, and he wasn't really lacking in confidence last year either. That brings me to it's not really even that bold of a claim that DeAaron Fox is going to be the best player taken from the 2017 draft. Well, so far he's definitely, without a doubt, been the best point guard taken from that draft. I mean, Lonzo Ball, he's actually better than people think, I'll admit, because he may not be able to shoot, he may not put up the best stats, but he's a great defender, a good passer, a good rebounder. Basically, he's solid at everything except for scoring, but just nowhere near the level DeAaron Fox has been playing at. Dennis Smith Jr. I'd say Dennis Smith Jr. about as good this season as Fox was last year. Just inefficient scorer, nowhere near the playmaker Fox is. He's got athleticism going for him, but I don't think there's no way he's going to be the player Fox is based off the leap Fox has taken from last year to this year. Frank Ntilikina, he's not even really playing with the Knicks. Oh, and then there's Markelle Fultz, the number 1 pick, who might go down as one of the biggest busts of all time because of the fact that he has a mysterious injury and he pretty much forgot how to shoot a basketball. DeAaron Fox, barring some drastic injury, is going to be the best point guard. Now, what about other players? Well, last year, Donovan Mitchell and Jayson Tatum were the guys who emerged as pretty much almost stars in their rookie seasons. Now, have either of them really improved? I wouldn't say so. It seems Donovan Mitchell has actually regressed a little bit since his rookie season, now that defenses have time to game plan for him and just set up a game plan on stopping him. So he's kind of regressed a little bit. And then Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum is still a great player, and he's got plenty of room to improve. But he's on a team with Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, and other young guys who are going to take shots and minutes in the future. So I think, no matter how good Jayson Tatum gets, he's never going to be, the face of a franchise, like, not in my opinion. Plus, with the Celtics possibly able to get someone like Anthony Davis, like, I don't think Jayson Tatum's ever going to be the best guy on the Celtics face of the franchise. And Vlade Divac has Divac, I don't even know, man. He has said that DeAaron is the face of the franchise, and based off what's happened so far season, DeAaron Fox is clearly the face of the franchise. I mean, Bagley might end up being a great player, hopefully, but I mean, DeAaron Fox is this good in his second season. Just imagine when he's 26, 27. I mean, he'll probably be the best point guard in the league, in my opinion. Because fast forward 5 years, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, they're not going to be the best point guards in the league anymore. Who will it be? Kyrie Irving, he'll be about 30. He'll definitely be a contender for that. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a beast. And, he might not be a natural point guard, but he does play point guard. But, with him not even developing any sort of a jumper at all, I mean, that's a pretty big part of an NBA player's game today. And, I mean, pretty much it's always been, especially for a point guard. So I could see DeAaron Fox totally being better than Ben Simmons, being better than any point guard in the league in a couple years. So, yeah, I mean, that's my clearly pretty biased take on DeAaron Fox's growth as a player, what he could be in the future. Honestly, not anything you haven't already heard before. Plenty of people have already talked about the Kings, how much better they've gotten. DeAaron Fox, how great he's been. It's just, I'm just, an excited Kings fan, happy to actually see them being good for once, and my favorite player being in consideration for an all-star spot. I mean, in his second season, but, he's not going to get it, I mean, the West is so stacked. I mean, Mike Conley has never been an all-star once in his career, so it might not be DeAaron's time just yet, but by next year, I'm confident in saying he'll be an all-star. I mean, imagine, this guy must have a great work ethic if he's able to go from, like, a below-average starter last year. I mean, let's face it, he didn't have the best rookie season. Most rookies don't, unless you're Donovan Mitchell or LeBron or somebody. But he went from an underwhelming rookie season, for being honest, to just exceeding my expectations, pretty much everyone's expectations this season. It seems like he's gotten about 3 years better as a player over one offseason. It's just my observation. Like, his best night last season, let me just say, he'll have every single night he'll have a night that would have been one of his best games last season. You know what I mean? I mean, that's might not have been the most eloquent, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Anyways, DeAaron Fox, he's an awesome player, and he's just going to continue to get better. So I'm so glad the Kings picked him with the 5th pick. He might just end up being the best player of the 2017 draft. He could even be the best point guard in the league one day, in my opinion.